There's been a relentless campaign to prove to the world that Meghan is not human. I recognize that campaign. Last night I found out that someone that I know passed away, that his life was taken away from him, and the last words that he echoed were, "I cannot breathe. Today I cannot breathe. Today I am Meghan. Today I am FrankTyson. Today I am all the people who have had to run for their lives, the ones who have survived, and the ones who did not make it over, but had to go through. This one is dedicated to FrankTyson. He didn't make it over. See you on the other side, Frank. When dealing with grief, how does one get through? How does one get over?
You know, that's a nice, big, fat, Eastern, Western philosophical question about how do you get through. Sometimes you don't survive whole, you just survive in part. But the grandeur of life is that attempt. It's not about that solution. It is about, being as fearless as one can and behaving as beautifully as one can under completely impossible circumstances. It's that makes it elegant. Good is just more interesting, more complex, more demanding. Evil is silly. It may be horrible, but at the same time, it's not a compelling idea. It's predictable. It needs a tuxedo, it needs a headline, it needs blood, it needs fingernails, it needs all that costume in order to get anybody's attention. But the opposite, which is survival, blossoming, endurance, those things are just more compelling intellectually, if not spiritually.
No,
I agree.
I trust my ancestors. Because I know, however this may sound, I know what happens to me when I'm in trouble. I know what my mother taught me, which was to love everybody.
Yep.
And when I'm in trouble, I listen to something. When I'm writing, I'm listening to something.
Yeah.
Which is what I mean by my ancestors. I'm a kind of poet, and I come out of a certain place, a certain time, a certain history.
When I think about how I got over, I think Aretha Franklin, I think Mahalia Jackson, I think the ancestors, I think the 7 principles, Umoja, collective work and responsibility. Professor Baldwin, I have a question. How can the traditions of ancestral worship and the experience of losing a loved one too soon both inspire us to live life to the fullest?
Well, I think, that the only way to live is know you're going to die. If you're afraid to die, you'll never be able to live.
Hey, hey.
You know?
Hey, hey.
And nobody knows anything about death.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
And that is also just another word.
For singing the blues. Death is
we
another
don't know
word.
anything about
Right.
it. You know.
Right.
When I go, I'll go. And where I'm going, I don't know. It might be, beautiful. It might be nothing. It might be, I think it's a cycle.
I do.
One could look at the story of Harry and Meghan leaving the UK as a kind of biblical story, and an ancestral one, meeting at an intersection. There was a genesis in their relationship, and there was an exodus from the UK. And for those who believe in their ancestors' continued presence, you can link it to Mahalia Jackson and subsequently Aretha Franklin's song that they both sang, How I Got Over, as a testament to the unwavering support that African descended people often feel from those ancestors who came before. We believe in our ancestors and that they watch over us, offering a kind of protection and guidance through life's challenges. This can also apply to Frank as he leaves this earthly journey and travels to a new destination, one that people who are alive know nothing about, but all of us will eventually get there. Also, I believe that Diana is guiding Harry. She is an ancestor, and I don't believe that you necessarily have to believe or know for those things to be working for you. There was a time when it was touch and go for both Harry and Meghan, the car chase in New York, the suicidal ideation, and I thank God every day that they made it over, as it could easily have gone the other way. But when I think about death, I think about the ancestral maps that they leave behind, guidebooks that allow us to live our lives in reverse. Toni Morrison left one such map behind, guidebooks that allow us to live our lives in reverse. Toni Morrison left one such map for us in this last piece for her Jimmy. Take a listen.
Words every rebel, every dissident, revolutionary, every practicing artist from Cape Town to Poland, from Waycross to Dublin, memorized. A person does not lightly elect to oppose his society. One would much rather be at home among one's compatriots than be mocked and detested by them. And there is a level on which the mockery of the people, even their hatred, is moving because it is so blind. It is terrible to watch people cling to their captivity and insist on their own destruction.
Oh, and this is one of the most powerful pieces I've ever heard or read. Oh, when she speaks about Jimmy's love.
Yours was a tenderness, a vulnerability that asked everything, expected everything, and, like the world's own Merlin, provided us with the ways and means to deliver. I suppose that is why I was always a bit better behaved around you. Smarter, more capable, wanting to be worth the love you lavished, and wanting to be steady enough to witness the pain you had witnessed and were tough enough to bear while it broke your heart. Wanting to be generous enough to join your smile with one of my own, and reckless enough to jump on in that laugh you laughed. Because our joy and our laughter were not only all right, they were necessary. You knew, didn't you, how I needed your language and the mind that formed it? How I relied on your fierce courage to tame wildernesses for me? How strengthened I was by the certainty that came from knowing you would never hurt me? You knew, didn't you? How I loved your love? You knew. This, then, is no calamity. No. This is a jubilee. Our crown, you said, has already been bought and paid for. All we have to do, you said, is wear it. And we do, Jimmy. You crowned us.
Wow. That should be a mantra that goes around the world. Oh, how I loved your love. Duchess Meghan, a beacon of strength in the face of media frenzy, has shown us a path forward. We can be the storytellers, weaving a narrative of love and light that transcends the negativity. Let us think of memories, a shared joke, a moment of kindness, a glimpse of the people that we have lost, the possibilities in the people they could have become. These fragments that we carry become a symphony of their existence, a testament to the richness of the lives they lived. If you wouldn't mind, please honor a family member, a friend. Say the name of someone in the comments that you've lost and how that loss resonates with you. Thank you for joining the Sussex Studio Experience. Together on this journey, illuminated by the strength of our community, may we find solace in the power of memory, the legacy of our loved ones, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. FrankTyson may be gone, but the memory of his life intertwined with the Duchess's courage and the strength of our community, the Sussex Squad, becomes a call to action, a call for compassion, for understanding, for a world where hope resonates far louder than the din of negativity. This, like the story of Duchess Meghan, reminds us of the vulnerability we all share. But in the face of grief, a powerful force awakens within us. The legacy of those we've loved, their memories, like ancestral whispers on the wind, offer solace. Perhaps it's a shared laugh, a moment of kindness, a glimpse of the incredible person that they were. These fragments, they become the symphony of their existence, a counterpart to the negativity that often surrounds their loss. Grief is a heavy cloak. It drapes over our shoulders. But as we navigate loss, I invite you, the Sussex Squad, to embark on a journey illuminated by the strength of our community. A journey guided by the enduring legacy and radiant light of those we hold dear, those who may be gone, but whose memories continue to inspire us. May Frank rest in peace. May his memory, along with the unwavering support of the Sussex Squad, inspire us to create a world worthy of the stories we all carry within us. We have resources available to help you cope with grief. Thank you for joining us on the Sussex Studio Experience. And if you got anything from this episode, please remember to share it, to subscribe. Hug a family member or friend. Tell someone that you love them today. And join us again on the Sussex Studio Experience. Take care. Ciao. You can go to nami.org. That's www.nami.org. You can text the crisis line. Text HOME to 741-741. You can also call 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And if you're LGBTQ, you can contact the Trevor Project, 866-488-7386. Finally, the Jed Foundation provides mental health resources and support for teens and young adults.